That's coffee. They're up.
Good morning.
For you, maybe. I just spent the past 5 minutes trying to button these pants. That stupid dryer shrunk another pair on me.
Dad, before you blame the dryer, have you ever considered stepping on the old bathroom scale?
What's the point of that? Damn thing's been off 10 pounds for weeks now.
Daphne?
Good morning, Dr. Crane. Sorry I overslept. Well, it's time we all got our day started. I'll just clear these dishes away.
I wasn't finished with that yet.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Oh, Daphne, I'm not quite finished with that toast either.
Oh, now we can't have you running off to play golf on a full stomach.
Yes, how many championship matches have been marred due to the heartache of toast cramp?
Don't you have that doctor's appointment?
Yeah, but it's not for another 20 minutes yet. What's going on here? What are you giving us a bum's rush for?
Bum's rush. Oh, I just love the old American vernacular. So cute, so quick, so long.
Well, I better get my wallet off these damn pants. You know, you spend $22.78 for a good pair of pants, you expect them to be shrink resistant.
Well, Dad, you spend that kind of money for a pair of pants. What you're really paying for is the designer's name.
Hey, come on.
Doctor, gotta go. I am so late.
Okay, yeah, hurry. Let's ditch up.
Okay, I will call you tonight.
Okay, bye.
Oh, hi, Joe.
Hi, Dr. Crane. I just came by to give Daphne a kiss and drop off these shoes. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Well, can anyone think of something to make this moment a little more awkward than it already is? Oh, thank you, Eddie.
Isn't that Dirk and Gabby Bindercott?
Friends of yours?
Filthy rich. Timber money. Oh, in their case, it actually does grow on trees. He's probably going to invite me to his benefit on Sunday.
And what benefit would that be? You seem to have an abundance of them on your schedule.
The hoedown for the homeless, I'm guessing. But, you know, when you have the time to give and the pedigree, it's hard to say no. He didn't invite me. They must have chose Maris instead.
Niles, it's only one party.
Yes, but when you're off the A-list for one party, you're off for all of them. From now on, I'll be relegated to B-list charity events, grubby little theater companies, and last year's diseases.
Well, Niles, this sort of thing often happens when couples separate. Their friends choose one spouse over the other. I'm sure they chose Maris because she's better connected and has more money than you.
Exactly what part of that was meant to ease my pain?
All I'm saying is I think you're overreacting.
Wait. I know what happened. My invitation just got lost. No, it is not so far-fetched. I mean, it could have gotten missorted, or the stamp could have, fallen off, or the mail carrier could have stolen it. Hoedowns are like catnip to postal workers. I'll just check with the post office. I read an article about a man who bought a piano at auction, and when he went to have it tuned, they found a 40-year-old unmailed letter under the sounding board.
Well, perhaps we should contact Ferranti and Teicher. Maybe they have your invitation.
Poke fun now, but we'll see who feels foolish on Sunday when I am sipping champagne atop a mechanical bull.
Hello, Niles. Hello, Frasier. A cappuccino, please.
Sure, no problem.
Roz, I want to get your take on something.
What?
Well, Daphne and Joe have been having sex at the house, and it's put me in a rather awkward position.
Doing what? Bending over to look through the keyhole? Come on, Frasier, what's the big deal?
Well, let's say perhaps I'm sitting in my chair, listening to music, reading a book, and Joe and Daphne are back there.
So?
Well, I'm not comfortable with that. And I'm going to ask Daphne to stop sleeping with Joe at their house. Now, do you think that's too,
Amish?
I was going to say selfish.
Let's see. Dear Daphne, please don't have sex. It disturbs my reading. No, that's not too selfish.
Well, I don't think a man should be uncomfortable in his own home. I mean, how can I relax when every giggle, every noise makes me, you know?
Picture it?
Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Very idea.
You're picturing it now, aren't you?
Well, you made me.
Hey, Frasier.
Hey, Dad. Is Daphne in?
Yeah? And if you have any sense at all, you'll pretend that nothing happened this morning.
Oh, yes, denial. Just the sort of advice I'd expect from a man whose driver's license still lists his hair color as black.
It was. Until you came back to town.
Daphne, I think we need to discuss what happened this morning.
It's been bothering me all day. It was entirely my fault.
No, I share the blame, too. We never did have a formal discussion of the rules of the house, especially when it comes to, well, you know.
Well, I do want to apologize for any embarrassment I may have caused. You see, we can't go to Joe's because he's still building his house and he has to sleep on a friend's couch. But I can assure you it'll never happen again.
Our business is concluded, meeting adjourned.
Next time Joe spends the night, I will notify you well in advance.
Daphne, I've just been going over the minutes from our last meeting, and there seems to be some confusion.
Oh?
You see, my quibble is not with the lack of notification. It's that I'm not comfortable with you and Joe sleeping together under my roof.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but it is my room, isn't it?
Yes, and I want you to feel comfortable living here.
Well, I suppose it's more important for you to feel comfortable because, as you said, it is your roof.
Thank you for understanding.
Not at all. Joe and I are going away for the weekend, but first thing on Monday, I'm going to start looking for a new place.
Daphne, I don't want you entertaining here, but at the same time, I don't want you to move out.
So you want me to stay but just not have a personal life?
Well,
No, that works out fine for me. I'll just spend all day waiting on you and your father, and then in the evenings, retire to my room, wrap myself in an Afghan, and wait till the morning. And if my whimpering gets too loud for you, you can just have me fix like Eddie.
now, that's not what I meant. This is difficult for both of us, Daphne. I have to express my feelings, but at the same time, I don't want you to move out. You become very important to me and my father.
That's why my solution is best. I'll still be here during the day to help your father, but nights and weekends, I'll go back to my own place, on top of which you can turn this room back into that old study you used to have.
Well, I suppose what other choice do we have?
Of course, it'll be a period of adjustment for all of us. I know how much you two care about me and consider me part of the family, but you're picturing your study right now, aren't you?
Well, you made me.
That's the way, I like it, That's the way, I like it,
Morning, Dad.
Morning.
Dad, you haven't seen my phone charger anywhere, have you?
Oh, I left it up in my room again. Sorry. Hey, listen, I am having a breakfast burrito. You want one of these bad boys?
El Paso.
Okay, suit yourself.
Dad, what happened to those silk pajamas that I bought for you?
Oh, come on, Frasier. They're way too la-di-da for me. And besides, they shrank. There go my tater tots. You want a pile?
As much as I like a pile of breakfast as the next guy, I think not. So are you planning to walk around like this all weekend?
Yeah, why not? I mean, Daphne's on her trip. It's just us guys. Listen, I've been wearing pants around here for 3 years now, okay? Enough already.
I see.
Listen, another thing, I mean, it's no big deal. But last night I couldn't find the remote control for the TV. And I thought we agreed that its place was on the table right next to my chair.
What was it like in the old days when you actually had to get up out of your chair to change the channel?
It was hell. You expecting someone?
Yes, the contractor's coming to give me an estimate on restoring my study.
Why don't you just use Joe?
I think Joe has done enough work in that room. Thank you very much. Hi, Chester. Thanks for coming over on short notice.
No sweat.
This is my father. Don't get up. The study is just through the courtyard on the left. I'll join you in a moment. Dad, it's a small thing, but you left the sponge in the sink again last night.
So?
Well, as I explained to you last evening, if the sponge stays wet, not only does it begin to smell, but it becomes a breeding ground for bacteria.
So?
So, if you were to, say, wipe up the salsa that you've just spilled all over the table, you'd be spreading salmonella, flagella, and listeria. Now, wouldn't that bother you?
Yeah, I guess you're right. It would bother me. Why, I'm not going anywhere near that sponge anymore. Eddie? Eddie? Come on, boy! Come on, baby!
3, 2, lights.
Hey, you know, you've been leaving the lights on the whole weekend. You know what that does to the electric bill?
You think they had to build a nuclear power plant just to keep that television on day and night?
I'd say you moved the chair again, didn't you?
No.
No? Well, did Eddie do it? Eddie, did you move my chair? Because Frasier said he didn't do it, and God knows Frasier would never mess with my stuff.
All right. I moved your damn chair. The way you had it turned ruined the symmetry of the room. The sight lines lost all their flow.
Oh, the sight lines, the sight lines. For a minute there, I thought it was some dumb reason.
And if I were you, I'd keep that dog off my couch. Otherwise, it's down the garbage chute for the thrill ride of its life. Howdy, partner.
Save your snippy remarks.
Hey, am I crazy, or is there a bright golden haze on the meadow?
Stop it! I'm in the middle of a social crisis. I was driving to the hoedown for the homeless, assuming that Maris had just forgotten to forward my invitation. But not only was I not invited, but Nelson, the parking attendant, told me he missed me at the luau for lupus. So it's official. I'm a social outcast.
Niles, why do you even care about these people? In your hour of need, they've abandoned you. They treat you like a leper, a non-person.
But I really, really like them. I know, it makes me sound pathetic, but I'm newly separated. These people have been my social circle for 10 years. Frasier, they're my tribe.
I hate to break it to you, dances with snobs, but they done left you on the mountaintop to die.
Come on, Niles, look. Your friends probably wanted to invite you, but they were afraid you'd get upset if you saw Maris there.
Oh, of course. That's absolutely right.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Why do you have to be so negative? These people really do care about me.
Oh, fine. All right, then. Why don't you just call them? Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Where's your charger?
Oh, it's in my room.
Where else would it be? Oh, and Dad's electric shaver is in the kitchen, too. You see, all our appliances are having a little adventure this weekend.
Come here. You proud of yourself, stirring things up? I mean, you couldn't just let him think that his friends were doing him a favor.
Ah, the Martin Crane approach. Better living through denial.
Well, you did the same thing with Daphne. You couldn't just pretend that nothing went on back there.
Dad, I'm a psychiatrist. I don't pretend. I confront, I resolve.
Yeah, how's that going? Good resolution. Daphne is leaving us. You know, I think you just go looking for trouble.
Hey guys, I'm back. So, did you guys have a nice weekend?
Oh, yeah. Barrel of laughs.
Well, I had the loveliest time. We found this little bed and breakfast up the coast, and I talked my decision over with Joe, and he agreed it really is the best thing for all of us. Of course, I'll still be here during the day to take care of your father and help him with his exercises, but Nights and weekends, it'll just be you two carefree bachelors getting into trouble together. I'm usually just in the way around here anyways. So, you see, my decision is best for all of us. Well, I've had a long weekend, so... Good night.
Thanks, Daphne. Good night.
Frasier,
What?
you know how Oreos have a creamy, soft filling between two hard cookies? That's what keeps them together?
I get your point, Dad.
Well, you know, Daphne's kind of the center, and
I'll go have a talk with her.
you and me, we'd be the cookie part.
I get it, Dad.
Okay.
Daphne, would you, Daphne, you can't go. You have to stay. I've only recently realized how important you are to us. You see, if you go, Dad and I will kill each other. Now, I'm not just tossing out hyperbole here. I mean it in the most literal sense. Dad and I both dead. Only he'll be lying there with a bacteria-ridden sponge protruding from his mouth like some bloated tongue. Now, you don't really want that on your conscience, do you?
Truth is, I still consider this place my home, but I know you'd never be comfortable knowing Joe and I were...
Well, I'd be willing to try.
I know you better than that. It'd bother you, and we'd both be miserable.
Why can't I get past this? It'd be so much easier if I could be like my father and pretend you're not in there making love.
Making love? Is that what you think we were doing?
Yes, certainly.
Oh, no. There was nothing like that going on in here.
Really? I find that rather implausible, but I do want to believe it. And believe me, I really do, but how can I?
Well, how can Joe and I make love with Joe's war injury?
I didn't know Joe was a soldier. What war would that be?
The Kurdish uprising in Iraq.
But that is an Iraqi conflict, and Joe isn't.
His parents have a summer house there.
Really? How unfortunate to have a summer home in a war zone. But how did he...
He was kicked by a sheep.
A sheep?
Yeah, spooked by an air raid siren. Work with me here.
So you mean Joe...
Can't.
Well, that changes everything, doesn't it?
I suppose it does. But just so we're clear, even though there's no actual love-making, Joe and I can on occasion say, read poems to each other at night.
As long as you don't read too loudly. Well, she's staying. It seems like they are sleeping together, but they're not having sex. You see, they can't have sex because of an injury that Joe suffered when he was kicked by a spook sheep during an air raid while his family was vacationing in southern Iraq during the war.
Like with me. It was all a misunderstanding. And these things happen. Huh? Apparently, the social chairman's dog ate my invitation. They had to take the poor animal to the vet, and in all the confusion, they forgot to send me another. And when I offered up my new address for next year's party, they said, no need, we'll see you around.
Well, you know, I'm gonna start wearing sweatpants. It's that damn dryer again. Oh, hey. You guys want some of these cookies? They're reduced fat.
Well, that means we can have twice as many.
Yeah. Not a calorie in a carload, apparently.
The sweets version of a chicken McNugget.
There you go.
True comfort food, especially when you put those pants on.
That's right. Sweatpants are gross.
Dad. Yeah.